Hello and welcome to this special Network 18 conversation. Today, we delve into the fast evolving world of hair restoration, an industry that's booming in India and abroad. While technology has brought about revolutionary techniques and better outcomes, the rise in popularity has also triggered an influx of unregulated clinics and questionable practices. With us today is someone who has been instrumental in redefining the standards of safety, trust, and transparency in this space. Mr. Ajay Bansal, CEO of DHI International. His company brought the globally renowned DHI technique to India back in 2010 and has since scaled operations across 45 countries. Mr. Bansal, welcome to the show. It's so good to have you with us, sir.
Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure and honor to be on your show.
Thank you, sir. So let's begin, Mr. Bansal, with your own journey. What really inspired you to bring direct hair implantation or DHI technique to India, and what was the response initially when you brought it here?
See, hair loss is a very natural process and everybody goes through hair loss. Unfortunately, I was going through my own hair loss around 2010 and I was looking for various options at that time. And then I realized that in India, there were no credible options for hair loss treatments or hair transplant at that time. There were hardly any clinics which were offering hair transplants, and it was being offered only by some plastic surgeons who were really very renowned in plastic surgery field, but they were not specialized in hair transplant. Secondly, they were using a very, if I may say, outdated technique called FUT or strip method, which is a highly invasive and a surgical process, which I was definitely not ready to go for. And my research led me to DHI Medical Group in Greece, which had developed the DHI technique, the direct hair implantation technique, which is a very unique technique where each hair is extracted one by one from the donor area in the back and implanted in the affected area. And their protocols give a perfectly natural result.
And how was the response initially? That was the second part of my question. Were people welcoming of this technique or were they apprehensive when you brought it initially?
Well, surprisingly, at that time, since there were no options available, people used to go to Dubai or to DHI Greece to get hair transplants done. Okay, so it was more of a medical tourism to these countries, which was driving hair transplants. The moment people heard that DHI is now available in India, so a lot of people, lapped it up, and we had many customers from celebrity background, from all walks of life coming to us. So luckily for us, the response was fantastic from day one.
Now, DHI is operating in 45 countries, which is major upscaling. When you go to 45 countries, how do you manage to maintain your leadership in the market, which is not just very competitive, but often very chaotic as well?
Yeah, so, my background has been in setting up chain businesses. Okay, and one of the most critical thing in setting up a chain business is standardization of protocols and quality standards. And that's really what we have been very mindful of when developing this business outside India and in 45 countries across the world. Today, DHI is operating 75 clinics in 45 countries. We are present in all the continents of the world. We are the only medical group to be present in all continents of the world. And we are very strong in Americas, Europe. South America is an area of very strong presence for us. We are expanding in Africa now. We have a few clinics there. Asia is a very strong market for us. So how we did this was really by bringing a lot of focus on standardization. Each and every clinic, each and every procedure is performed using SOPs, which we have very painstakingly developed. Each and every step of a hair transplant procedure, whether it is pre-procedure medical screening, how do you extract the hairs? What kind of instruments do you use for extraction? What do you do with the instruments once they have been used? Okay, which is that they are destroyed because these are single-use instruments. How do you preserve the grafts which have been extracted? How do you implant the hairs? How do you do the designing of the hairline? How do you do the treatment planning? And how do you do the follow-up, after the procedure? to ensure that the results are fantastic. So these are, every single step has been explained in great detail in our SOPs. And these SOPs are accredited with United Kingdom's Care and Quality Commission, which is a great honor. And this shows the highest level at which DHI is operating. So one of the things that we do is that every single clinic and every single procedure is operating through these SOPs. The second thing, if I may add, is that every procedure is performed by doctors end to end. Only by doctors, not by technicians.
No other regular medical staff. It has to be a qualified doctor.
It has to be a qualified doctor, end to end. In fact, not even a nurse would touch the patient. The doctor himself or herself performs the entire procedure. And these doctors are highly trained by us over several months. This is a very, very stringent protocol for training. And these doctors are then assessed, and they are certified by London Hair Restoration Training Academy. Only after that, they can start performing these protocols. And lastly, we do a quality control on every single procedure that is performed in any clinic worldwide. Every single procedure goes through quality control. We are very proud to say that, because in most clinics, even where they are performing one procedure every month,
right,
even that one procedure does not go through any quality control, process. So this is a very unique thing that we do. So it is because of our focus on quality and standardization and training that we are successfully operating in 45 countries. And as we speak, we are about to launch DHI in at least 5 more countries.
Wow, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
But you have very wonderfully explained the SOPs that your organization is following. But a lot of times this industry is criticized for the lack of transparency. So how do you manage to build trust in an ecosystem like that, where transparency is a big issue? And of course, the Indian market, it's also unique to its own requirements. What does it take to build trust in such an ecosystem?
You see, trust is a factor of education. And we try and educate our customers as much as we can. Our entire focus is not on marketing so much, but on education. The 3 topmost things which a customer should look at while choosing a hair transplant doctor or a clinic is safety, whether I'm going to get natural results, and whether the graft survival is going to be right or not. So let's talk a bit about these 3 aspects. Safety is the most critical aspect of any surgical process. So one must look at whether the clinic is properly equipped or not, whether safety and sanitization protocols, health protocols are followed in that clinic or not, the OT is properly fumigated, sanitized, and so on, what kind of instruments are being used. Relatively, a hair transplant setup does not require a lot of equipment. It is mainly the doctor and the instruments, which are interacting with the patient. So it's very important what the instruments are, and are they single-use instruments or are they being reused? It's very hard to find that out for a customer. Which is why you have to ask very probing questions and ask for evidence of these things. Whether the doctor is properly trained or not. You will be surprised to know that many clinics perform hair transplants even without performing pre-medical screening tests.
And what are those pre-medical screening tests?
So there's a list of medical tests that you should perform. So for example, if you are suffering from diabetes and it is a bit beyond control, definitely you're not the right candidate for hair transplant unless it comes in control.
So ideally, such a person should be refused.
It should be refused, absolutely. But many people end up doing that. A hair transplant procedure, for example, should not last for more than 5-6 hours. Typically, because it is performed under local anesthesia, and there is a limit to which you can perform local anesthesia and how much LA can be, administered on a certain patient, given the body weight and so on. So these are some of the things which only can be known by a very trained and qualified doctor. So these aspects about the doctor, the instruments, the safety protocols must be looked at by the patient above everything else. Safety comes first. Number 2 is whether they are going to get natural results or not. There is no point in getting a hair transplant result if it is going to look very odd. Okay, you were rather better off beforehand. Okay, so the implanted hair should look very much the same way as your natural hair were looking, or the rest of your natural hair are looking right now.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now this can only be achieved if you are using very specialized instruments, which give you the perfect control over the angle, depth, direction, design, density of the implanted hair. Okay, it cannot be achieved by unexperienced doctors or technicians who are not using proper instruments. Lastly, and also very importantly, graft survival. Okay, if 5,000 grafts, for example, were extracted and implanted, would 5,000 hair grafts come out or not? Okay, that's a big question. Okay, in most cases, out of 5,000, typically 50% grafts would survive. Now that will result not only in unnatural looking hair, it will also lead to dissatisfaction.
Right.
Okay, so these are some of the things that patient need to be educated on, and these are things which we want to educate people, and those are the challenges that we have in this industry.
But despite the challenges, you've made massive progress. In just a few years, you have 17 clinics in India. If you could just reflect a bit more on what made this rapid growth possible for you.
Yeah. No, so luckily for us, because we were pioneers in this industry, we have had the trust of our customers, right from word go. We've had celebrity clients as well as non-celebrity clients, coming to us. Honestly, if you ask me, for us, every client is a celebrity. Every client deserves the best treatment, and that's what we strive for. And our customer satisfaction rate is 99% plus. Which we take pride in. I'm sometimes worried about the balance 1%, which could be due to many factors, including medical conditions and so on. But in a market survey, we were ranked as #1 on customer satisfaction. Now, this means that these satisfied customers are our brand ambassadors, and they refer, at least half of our business comes from referral clients. And that is something which has made it possible for us to expand rapidly in various cities. It is coupled with our desire to actually take this treatment to all parts of the country. We do not want the patients to go to uncertified, unqualified doctors, untrained doctors, and make a mess of not only their hair, sometimes even their lives.
Risking
Okay,
lives, yeah.
so that is something that we really are mindful of, and that's why we are expanding. We are hoping that we will have 40 clinics in 40 cities in times to come.
Wow. But Mr. Bansal, to have a 99% success rate means that you are doing most of the things right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about innovation here. How does DHI stay ahead of the curve? And how do you continue to deliver this cutting edge outcome for your patients?
Yeah. So we have a very strong medical board and a team of highly qualified and passionate doctors who are passionate about their craft. And constantly we are looking at ways to improve ourselves. Okay, we are already a leader in our technique, DHI technique. All you need to do is just search on ChatGPT and ask, is DHI the best technique of hair transplant in the world or not? Okay, it will give you the answer. I don't have to repeat it, but it will tell you DHI is the one.
Yeah.
So we are already there, but leadership position is very lonely. Okay, and it is something which is it comes with great responsibility. So we are fully aware of that responsible position that we are in. We are constantly improving our DHI technique, which is most unique and advanced in the world.
Yeah.
Our SOPs are modified and improved every year, and our doctors go through fresh training every year. Our whole system goes through fresh training every year. So it's a constant journey, and we are up for it.
Wow. But there are, short while back, you did speak about some people even going to the extent of risking their lives at the cost of, perhaps cutting their financial cost in the process. The Kanpur case really shocked the entire country. 2 young lives were lost in hair transplant. What do you think went wrong there? And what does it really say about the broader industry?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very unfortunate what happened in Kanpur. Somebody to lose their lives for a simple procedure like hair transplant. It only happens in India. Being in the industry, we hear these cases a lot, and it's very unfortunate because, and I think it is a factor of patient education. People are not aware of what kind of risks are associated with even a simple surgery like hair transplant.
Right.
They are mostly driven by costs. Now, how do these clinics manage to offer such ridiculously low prices to the patients? Is by getting the procedures done by either unqualified doctors or untrained doctors, or as the case in most clinics, by technicians. Okay, so the doctor ends up playing the role, the well-known doctor whose clinic you go to, they end up playing the role of a salesman, and they do very snappy marketing, okay, which is price driven, and you are attracted to those prices, and you end up taking the treatments without understanding the risks.
Right.
That is what I believe happened in the Kanpur case also. My advice to the customers is, please take this treatment very, very seriously. It is a surgical treatment after all. Don't compromise on safety. Okay, everything else can be compromised. The result can be compromised, but you don't want to compromise on safety, and it comes at a certain price. So yeah, that's really.
So, but it's a larger problem, would you say, Mr. Bansal? Because, botched up surgeries in the name of these fancy cosmetic procedures,
Yeah.
it's not just a problem limited to India now. People are going to, international destinations, Turkey being a very big example, where you do end up being on the wrong side of a simple surgery. Why are experts really advising people to stay away from this kind of a, mess around their cosmetic procedure?
Yeah. Yeah, Turkey is a case in point. Exactly, Turkey is a beautiful country, but most of these cosmetic service providers, they have taken the advantage of the beauty of Turkey to market medical tourism packages centered around the country rather than the efficacy and safety of the procedure itself. So a lot of people end up going to Turkey because they offer very cheap prices, they offer free hotels and tickets and so on. All that is fine. Turkey is a good place to go if you want to go there. But would you combine tourism with a surgical procedure? I think that is a decision which has to be taken very cautiously, because from Turkey we have heard horror stories. We have seen pictures and videos where in one big hall there are 20 hair transplant procedures going on, and every patient has got 4 or 5 technicians working on their head. Okay, which is completely unhygienic and unsafe. And these people, when they take a flight next day and go to their home country, after that, do they really have any recourse, whether it is medical or whether it is legal, to take any kind of a follow-up action? No. Okay, so I would very strongly suggest that please do not go for these kind of gimmicky medical tourism packages. Let me tell you, even in Turkey, there are doctors who are doing very good quality work. Okay, no taking away from them, but they do not offer these kind of medical tourism packages. Okay, they charge very high premium pricing. Okay, so this should tell you that there is a difference in quality, and which leads to a difference in pricing.
So nothing comes cheap, and if it's cheap, it has a hidden cost.
Exactly.
Which you should be aware of. So now let's just zoom out a bit and focus once again on India and the future of hair restoration in India. How do you see that, and how is DHI preparing for the next step ahead?
Yeah. See, in India, this industry is growing very rapidly. The growth of 20 to 25% is expected over the next several years, which means that like in the past few years, you will see a lot of clinics and doctors leaving their normal other practices, like maybe dentistry or something like that, and moving into a field of hair restoration, hair transplants, which will, because of the size and scale of this country, many of these clinics will remain unregulated. Okay, it is not easy to regulate this industry, although the medical council is doing their best to regulate it. I would say that patient education is the most important aspect. Every patient must understand what are the risks, what are their rights, what should they expect, and above all, quality comes at a certain price. Okay, do not look at the price alone, look at the overall value you are getting. But definitely do not compromise the safety and quality for a slightly lower price. DHI is really dedicated in two ways. One is to expand our patient education efforts, and second is by expanding the network of our clinics so that this kind of quality treatment is available to more and more patients across the country.
All right, Mr. Bansal, it was a fantastic conversation with you. Thank you so much for coming here today and enlightening us truly in this industry. From championing global best practices to sounding the alarm on unethical shortcuts, your insights, in fact, today were truly underscoring why informed choices have to be made, and they are the need of the hour. And to our viewers, if you are considering cosmetic or transplant procedures, remember this: credentials, safety protocols, and aftercare aren't extras. They are essentials. Ask questions, do your homework, and don't get lured by glossy brochures or bargain prices. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed.